Good morning. My name is Dr. Jazine Alders, and I am the Research Coordinator at the McMaster Institute for Research on Aging, or MIRA. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'd like to begin this webinar by recognizing and acknowledging that McMaster University is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee Nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. During this webinar, I'll be speaking about MIRA, our research, and the ways in which we support trainees in aging research, including our 2022 funding opportunities. Our second speaker, Allison Schneider, is the Education and Training Program Coordinator at AgeWell and CE. Allison is responsible for liaising with trainees, program alumni, researchers, and partners about the education and training programs, scholarships, and awards offered at AgeWell. Allison also supports the EPIC training program by providing feedback on the Innovators of Tomorrow certificate program courses and developing webinars and elective courses for highly qualified personnel. Today, Allison will be discussing AgeWell's 2022 funding opportunities, including the trainee awards co-funded by MIRA and AgeWell, which are meant to support trainees at McMaster doing research in the space of aging and technology. To give you some background, the McMaster Institute for Research on Aging, or MIRA, was formed in 2016 as the university recognized the great challenges that an aging population will present to humanity and to science. MIRA is an umbrella organization that coordinates initiatives across McMaster's aging platforms and faculties. MIRA encourages collaborative approaches to the research process, supporting interdisciplinary projects and cross-faculty teams working alongside key stakeholders and end users to ignite innovation and create human-centered solutions for the most pressing challenges facing our aging population. McMaster is home to leading researchers addressing aging research questions across the faculties of engineering, social sciences, science, health sciences, humanities, and business. In addition, McMaster is home to aging research platforms such as GARIS, the Gilbrea Center for Studies in Aging in the Faculty of Social Sciences, the McMaster Physical Activity Center of Excellence, also known as PACE, the Canadian Longitudinal Study in Aging, and the Optimal Aging Portal. MIRA's goal is to bring together researchers and students from across these platforms and faculties and support interdisciplinary research that reaches impactful solutions to the biggest challenges that aging presents. In addition, MIRA supports about 120 trainees, including postdoctoral fellows, graduate and undergraduate students through the MIRA Trainee Network. What this means in practice is that our funding opportunities often require collaboration among two or more often three faculties. Sometimes the application process is iterative, which means we might receive a great proposal that's missing something we might like to see, so we might send it back with a comment such as, would you consider talking to someone with expertise in artificial intelligence? Could you add a social isolation component or incorporate the use of sensors or consult a geriatrician? We can connect you with partners in industry or community care settings or community stakeholders. These are the types of edits that we think will improve your chances of success in external competitions. It also means that we often facilitate access to stakeholders, including older adults. We have several trainee funding opportunities that are coming up in 2022. So the first one we want to touch on is the MIRA Undergraduate Summer Research Fellowship, or USRF. Our deadline is April 1st, and it's open to students in all faculties, but it does require your supervisor to be a MIRA member. MIRA contributes towards the salary for an undergraduate student work opportunity, and the supervisor needs to fund the remaining cost of the fellowship. To apply for this opportunity, we encourage you to connect with a McMaster MIRA supervisor to develop a proposal. And if possible, we encourage you also to apply for an NSERC Undergraduate Student Research Award. These are the NSERC Undergraduate Student Research Award deadlines across faculties. The MIRA Graduate Student Professional Development Award application is due March 15th, and this comes up twice a year. This provides up to $250 to graduate students to complete an online course at a different institution, or to attend a training program, or to present at an academic conference, anything that's going to help you further develop your professional skills in the capacity of aging research. We also have the MIRA and Labarge graduate scholarships and the SMAP and MIRA graduate scholarships. The application deadline for these is March 15th. Master's scholarships are open to students beginning a new McMaster graduate degree in the 2022-23 school year, and PhD scholarships are open to students entering years 1 or 2 of their program. The application requires both a MIRA supervisor and a mentor from a faculty outside of that of the supervisors. When you complete the application, please also indicate which streams you would like to be considered for. So we have 3 streams available this year. The MIRA Scholarship in Aging Research, which supports research on a broadened definition of aging topics, such as the impact of exercise and physical activity on optimal aging, psychological, social, and environmental factors on optimal aging, causes and consequences of multimorbidity, frailty, or polypharmacy, the role of caregiving, equity, economics, and transportation in optimal aging, the biological mechanisms of aging-related diseases and chronic conditions, approaches to knowledge translation to improve optimal aging, the use of technology to promote optimal aging and aging in place. The Labarge Mobility Scholarship supports applicants whose research on aging focuses on mobility and aging. And the third stream is the SMAP, or Smart Mobility for the Aging Population MIRA Scholarship. And this supports research in mobile technologies, artificial intelligence, embedded and sensing devices to address mobility challenges faced by the aging population. The MIRA and Labarge postdoctoral fellowships applications are due May 14th, and we have up to 3 available this year. Prospective applicants are invited to submit a research plan that involves at least 2 other researchers from 2 different faculties out of the supervisor's faculty as mentors. If you're having trouble framing your research idea or finding mentors that can bring a different lens to the scientific question, Audrey Paddocks and I are always available for a discussion or to help facilitate introductions to researchers or stakeholders that may bring a different perspective to your research. So what are the elements of a successful application? Some of the things we look for is the project novel, innovative, and exciting, and does the research have potential for greater impact, both within the discipline and in the broader world? Does the proposal present an engaging, understandable problem? Is the writing and background clear, concise, and complete? Is the research question well-defined and supported by literature? Is the project design clear? Are recruitment methods clearly outlined? Are the methods and planned analyses valid and thoroughly outlined? Is the sample size adequate? Have power analyses been calculated? Will anticipated results inform the literature and are implications and next steps well defined? Does the project provide a clear description of the aging aspects being addressed and clearly demonstrate potential benefits for older adults that are central to the project? Has the application given careful consideration to intended stakeholders and end users? We really want to see thoughtful descriptions of how these perspectives will be included in the project, and we like to see the incorporation of design thinking where possible. Do the supervisor and mentor have complementary and integrated expertise? Is the value and mechanism for collaboration clear, and does it bring a unique perspective to the project? Is there a consideration of equity, diversity, and inclusion in the research project, if applicable? And is there a consideration of equity, diversity, inclusion in the applicant's career path? Finally, does the applicant demonstrate competence, motivation, or leadership ability? If you have questions, please drop them in the chat box or email us at mirafund@mcmaster.ca, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. So thanks for having me here today. As Audrey said, my name is Allison Schneider, and I'm the Education and Training Program Coordinator at AgeWell. I'm going to start by introducing AgeWell, the work that we do, our priorities, and ways of thinking when it comes to age tech, as well as some of the opportunities that are available for us to collaborate. Okay, great. So AgeWell is a national federally funded network of centers of excellence. So funded in 2015, we are a network of researchers, older adults, caregivers, community industry partners, government decision makers, and students such as yourselves. Together, we conduct research, create and commercialize technologies and services, and influence Canadian policies to, as you see here, accelerate the delivery of technology-based solutions that make a meaningful difference in the lives of Canadians. So we want to help older adults to maintain independence, health, and quality of life. So this graph may be familiar to most of you. So as you can see, population aging is dramatically changing the demographic structure of the world. The rapidity of our population aging presents quite a challenge. While the population is healthier generally, with increasing age comes differences in capacity to conduct activities of daily living and an increased number of chronic conditions. We are, and our infrastructure is currently unprepared to support the needs of vast quantities of older people. So technology has been recognized as one way to address this challenge. And we use the word age tech, and that just means technology built for the needs of older adults and caregivers. So when you think of the most successful countries in age tech, we tend to think of Japan and some Scandinavian countries, and we don't really think of Canada. Yet over the past 15 years, there's been a huge increase in Canadian research in technology and aging. We just haven't seen that translated into commercially available products, new services, or innovative policy. We have a population of older adults, as you can see, 72% who are comfortable with technology and ready to use it. And the same number of those confident in correct technology also thought that tech was a positive force that could help them improve their quality of life. But as you can see, they aren't actually using it for health and wellness purposes. So this is an opportunity in Canada and worldwide, really. The opportunities in this space abound. The silver economy is massive. It's a major opportunity for businesses, and you can see some of our partners here to grow the age tech field in Canada. There's a race internationally to integrate tech into everyday life in Asia and Europe, and Canada and the US are lagging behind. And we need to close this gap by breaking academics out of their silos to work together on large, complex topics. And this requires a lot of new knowledge and skills. So to that end, we've honed what we call the AgeWell way as a method to bridge that gap between excellent research and real-world impact. And it's required quite the culture shift within age tech sector in Canada. So we have three core pillars here. First, we have co-creation with stakeholders, those older adults and caregivers, so that there's a sharing of power between researchers and knowledge users. This sort of collaboration leads to better science, more relevant and actionable research findings, and mutual learning. Secondly, we have transdisciplinarity. So speaking of that mutual learning, this is a way of working together that requires collaboration within a multiplicity of disciplines. The reason is obvious. A psychologist, physician, gerontologist, and a computer science working together are more likely to be successful in solving the problem of medication mismanagement than even one or two of these disciplines together. Number three, integrated knowledge mobilization and commercialization. So we find that creating and marketing solution requires a networked approach to innovation. It requires collaboration with industry, talking to policymakers, and ensuring once again that findings are translational. So thinking about how your research aims to embrace these three pillars is critical to putting forward a great application for, say, an AgeWell Award. So we've spent the past 7 years building our network to foster this collaboration. So each project that we have is working closely with partners from industry, government, and the not-for-profit sector to ensure project outcomes make it out of the research lab. Moreover, our projects work closely with a cohort of older adults and caregivers who take an active role as co-creators on projects, and not just as validators on a final project. So this is really key to our thinking. Since our focus is on making impact and affecting change, we support innovative research that has possible real-world applications. Note that of the 118 solutions that are across the PRL scale here, 51 are technologies, 31 are policies and practices, and 36 are services. So we're not just talking about, traditional tech. You can think outside that box as well. As well as scientific excellence, most funding opportunities require applicants to demonstrate that their research has potential for this real-world impact and the potential for innovation. Our applicants are expected to understand our network priorities. So our research platform is built on these 8 challenge areas specifically. These challenge areas are where technology are critical to improving the lives of older adults and caregivers in Canada, and where we believe there is the biggest opportunity for impact. And keep in mind that the overriding idea here is that caregivers are included across all of these areas. There isn't a separate challenge area for caregiving, as caregivers tackle all of these challenges every day. So a large part of my job at AgeWell and a huge part of AgeWell's aims are preparing future leaders. As part of our work in developing the age tech sector, we recognize our trainees and early career professionals are the catalyst that will drive Canada's leadership here. So to that end, about half of our budget is dedicated to supporting trainees such as yourself. Since inception, we've supported over 1,000 students, postdoctoral fellows, research staff, and early career researchers through our EPIC program. And EPIC is the umbrella term that we use to describe all things training at AgeWell. So under this umbrella, we have our Innovators of Tomorrow certificate program that you can see here. So this is a completely free and self-paced program made up of 4 online courses that encourage you to consider the economic, social, environmental, and ethical implications of your work. From learning more about the physical, social, and psychological dimensions of aging, to issues of co-creation, the Canadian healthcare system, and how to design age tech in an ethical, empathetic, and iterative manner. So this learning is really relevant to any trainee looking at age tech. So on to our awards. So since making a real world impact is at the heart of everything we do in AgeWell, we actively support our trainees in making their research accessible in the marketplace. So next month, we will launch our 5th year of our Emerging Entrepreneur Award, and this supports young entrepreneurs on their journey to creating or sustaining a viable business. This award is $25,000. Last year, you may know Patricia Houston, who's at MIRA. She was one of our awardees. So MIRA has a legacy here. We also offer a significant number of graduate and postdoc scholarships, as well as smaller awards. To be eligible, you must participate full-time in your respective program at a Canadian post-secondary institution, but your citizenship doesn't matter. I encourage you to look at the website here. The URL is at the top left. Our next round of annual graduate student and postdoc awards will open April 29th. Last year's application is actually on the website now, and you can take a look at it because it's not going to change much from last year, so it's a great way to prepare. The funding for master's students starts at $10,000, PhDs start at $15,000, and postdocs at $20,000. So specific to this group, we also have the AgeWell MIRA Awards. As you can see, they have higher dollar value awards. So the master's $15,000, PhD's $20,000, and postdoctoral award is $50,000. The application is the same as the general awards, but you need to check off that a box indicating that you're eligible to receive one of the AgeWell MIRA Awards. So that criteria is you have to be a full-time McMaster grad student or postdoc, a member of MIRA, working on an AgeWell relevant project, As you can see, the deadline is the 31st of May, and that's a Tuesday. And we're looking for three things, important things within this application. So you have to demonstrate the scholarly merit and the quality of your proposed research. We're looking for your ability to demonstrate a fit with age well goals and priorities, which I discussed earlier in the presentation, that you've considered real world impact of your work, that you can clearly explain how your work is transdisciplinary in nature, and that you're going beyond typical academic research. That is, you're truly partnering with your stakeholders, your older adults and caregivers throughout the research project, and understanding the needs as end users as you're designing your product, policy, or service. And lastly, we look at the quality of the training environment. Who's your supervisor? Who's supporting your work generally, and what's actually feasible when it comes to what you're able to do in your lab, for example. So this is a really exciting opportunity, and I encourage you to apply. So finally, if you want to get involved in AgeWell outside of the awards, you can apply to become an AgeWell affiliate. So these HQP are highly qualified personnel, can apply and have the reviewed and accepted application. Then they will be available. Then you will receive access to all of our opportunities within the AgeWell network. So that includes our EPIC training, the Innovators of Tomorrow certificate program, our Summer Institute. We're actually able to do that this year. Webinars, mentorships, job and career development support, networking partnerships, and internal awards. So please apply. We have lots of opportunities for people who are working in the age tech field. So you can email training@agewell-nce.ca if you have any questions, as well as my email, which I will put in the chat. Thanks so much for having me here.
Awesome. Thanks, Allison. Just before we conclude, I'm actually going to send, or in the chat, I'm going to post a Google form. So 1 second here. And I'd appreciate it if everyone could fill out this form. It's only 2 questions regarding the future MIRA trainee meetings, these monthly ones, if we want them to be in person or continue to stay virtual, and then what kind of events everyone is interested in. So it'll only take like a few seconds, and we'd really appreciate it if you could fill that out. I think that's all. Justine, am I missing anything, or Audrey?
Are you dropping that link in the chat?
Yeah, it should be there now.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank Allison for joining us, and let everyone know that we are all available via email if you have additional questions. And I think, Audrey, did you want to add anything?
I just popped a little note into the chat as well. So in previous years, some of you who may have applied to AgeWell actually took us up on this, but we have offered to review your proposal in advance of submission to AgeWell. And so our deadline for that is May 10th, which seems really quick after the opportunity opens on the 29th. But that gives us some time to read it, get some comments back to you, and for you to respond to them. And so if you have a draft and you intend to apply for this, you can send it along to us, and we'll try and get it back to you in about a week so that you can respond to that. So one of the things worth noting is that the AgeWell competition is essentially the same year over year. So you can look at what their website has right now to have a look at what a proposal requires, and you can start on that immediately. You don't need to wait for it to actually open. That's just the date for the portal to open. And so we'll be sending a note around both the AgeWell MIRA co-funding opportunity soon, and it'll include this deadline and the mechanism for it, but just something to keep in mind. If you do intend to apply for that, you could get started a little bit early and have some extra eyes on it.